What is going on, guys? Tempo Trades. In today's video, we are going to be going over some IFVG setups that I took in December. I know I'm behind a couple months, but I'm just trying to take it month by month, go over all the setups I took, and hopefully you guys learned something in this video. So every single setup in this video was taken inside my Discord. I live trade every single day, so if you're interested, link will be in the bio, and here we go. All right, now for looking at my stats for December, I had 23 wins, 7 losses, for about a 77% win rate. Again, my win rate hovers between 80%, 70%, and 90%. In October of 2024, I had a 90%, but for December, it was a 77%. I think it's pretty good. December is probably the hardest month to trade for day traders, just because a lot of the big market makers, a lot of the people who inject volume into the markets, they're, taking their break. They're taking their early days off. And they're not really as active as they are in other times of the year. So you see lowered volatility, and it's kind of harder to predict and read price action in December. So I'm pretty happy with that. Also, considering my risk to reward is over, like a 2-to-1, sometimes even a 3-to-1. So to have a 77% win rate, really, really happy with that. All right, so if we get in our first trade here, this is actually a really, really unorthodox one. I don't take these very often, probably once a month. But essentially, I was giving my pre-market analysis here. I was trying to tap into this hourly gap. NQ and ES swept major sell side liquidity. So we're looking for a reversal to the upside. So it looks like in this photo, we tapped into an hourly fair value gap and we reacted out of it. I waited for a 30-second order block confirmation. This is a little bit of an aggressive entry, I cannot lie. But I entered long once that bullish order block formed. Stops are at the swing low right there. And then you could see we ended up hitting all of our TPs. Even after a while, we still ended up hitting the final TP all the way up there. So this is definitely an aggressive entry, but I'm going to show you more examples. I like to pair the higher time frames with the lower time frame, right? So if we sweep a major, hourly high or low, or if we tap into a 4-hour gap, I like to go down to the lower time frames and try to find a setup that complements with that narrative. All right, for setup number 2, we kind of have something similar. So again, bullet point number 1, we swept a 4-hour low at 440, which was also a data low. So that is a major liquidity sweep. We're now looking for a reversal to the upside. You could see this looks to be the 1-minute time frame. The 1-minute inverses very, very nicely, creating that inverted fair value gap. We enter long. And then a lot of our TPs hit. We get TP1 right here at about 30 points. TP2 right there at 50 points. And then it looks like I was holding for the big home run 100-point play, but we didn't end up getting it, and it came back to break even. So this was about a 50-point win. But again, just very, very textbook. I mean, you see the IFVG here. Let me move my screen a little bit for you. You see the IFVG here, inverses that with a lot of momentum, really good. And then as soon as it inverses, it taps off that IFVG and moves higher. So in the middle of this play, it got kind of choppy, but the beginning, great momentum, exactly what I want to see. This is a pretty good setup here. All right, and once again, let me just move this, but once again, we are combining the higher time frame narrative with the lower time frame entry. So if you look on the top, we were rejecting a 1-hour BPR. What is a BPR? A bullish and a bearish fair value gap overlapping each other. It's just a fair value gap on steroids pretty much. So I saw that we were rejecting it. I go down to my lower time frame looking for shorts. I find this one right here. Again, amazing momentum through that IFVG. Very, very nice. You enter short there. And then it rides all the way down to this swing point. And again, this looks like a 2 to 2.5 risk to reward. I hit 40 points and I was only risking 20. So yeah, this is a 2-to-1. This is a 2-to-1 risk to reward here. Very, very nice. Very easy play. And you can see, I mean, there's pretty much no drawdown on this play at all. Every single candle went in my favor after I entered. So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Next, you can see kind of the V-shaped pattern that a lot of the IFVG traders talk about. And again, momentum and reactions are a huge part of trading. If you get the right kind of movement and candle momentum after your objectives or your area of interest get met, that should just give you confidence that, your read on the situation is correct and your trade is going to work. So you can see right here, I had an hourly low marked out. That hourly low got swept. And then we got that V-shaped kind of reversal pattern, inverse this IFEG with a lot of momentum. That is a common theme you're going to see in most of these plays. I take good setups because I'm looking for the ones with the right momentum. So great momentum there. And then it delivers very, very nicely to the high. If you could see it all the way on the top left, I made about $1,300 per account on this one times 5. So this one was amazing setup. All right, here's another great one. This is a 50% of the daily range bounce. So I use this a lot. I posted countless TikToks. I have videos out there. You should be using the daily range to combine with your ICT entries, whether you're doing IFEGs, fair value gap taps, order blocks, breakers, whatever. A lot of the time, if you just draw the daily range, price is going to seek the 50% rebalance level and bounce off of it. And again, when it bounces, you can pair that with an IFEG. You could see I did that right here. So this play was taken on ES. I don't take ES plays as often as I do on NQ. I would say it's like 80 to 90% of the time NQ, 10% ES. But this one was just too good to resist. So we tapped the 50% on ES. I entered this inversion right here, and I'm just, targeting the opposite ends of liquidity. We didn't get a single red candle, chat. Do you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 green candles in a row as soon as I entered. Mamma mia, this was a great play. And again, this isn't liquidity per se, but this is combining support and resistance levels with ICT concepts, and I found it to be really, really powerful. All right, and last but not least, we have a cheeky SMT play here. Not the craziest amount of points in the world, but you don't need to hit 100 points every single play, man. If you could just consistently hit 20 to 30 points and do that over a long period of time, you will make a lot of money in the long term. So you could see right here, we formed an SMT with ES at the bottom right here. So I knew that my bullish bias could be valid, especially if we made a move up. We inverted over this fair value gap. I entered long, and I was just targeting this swing point right here. This was about a 30-point win. And I also I don't know if you could see this very well, but I also called that out in the Discord before it even happened. So this, doesn't go the most points, but again, just great momentum. This is all of the plays I've shown you today. We've had amazing momentum through the gap, and I just think that's so important when you're taking setups. Guys, those are some of my best plays in the month of December. Once again, 77% win rate with a 2-to-1 risk to reward. You're going to make a lot of money if you can do that consistently. So if you have any questions about this model, leave it in the comments below. If you want a live trade with me every single day, you can also do a 7-day free trial in the description. And I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.